set it outside all the way.
As you can see, we were removing the fenders off of the 1926 Kissel. Right here we're working on backing it out of the garage to set it up for lifting the body off. We're going to use my MaxJax system to actually do that, thereby not needing 6-8 people to actually do that particular portion of the job. Now the MaxJax doesn't quite line up with the door, so we're going to do a little jockeying in just a moment to try to get it lined up with the MaxJax system.
We're going to have to jack it around a bit.
Yeah.
Once we get it out here. Come down. Get your side down. How's that?
My helper here that you see is my son Sebastian. You'll notice I refer to him as Toon. That's because when he was a kid, he was just like a cartoon character. Run into things, get right back up and go, just like they did in the cartoons. Very interesting. What we're doing here is doing just what I said, jockeying that car into position to get it set up so we're centered on that MaxJax system and can actually lift the car body. I'm hooking up the hydraulic system. This is all portable. We're going to hook that up so we can use it to lift. Makes it much easier than trying to have 6-8 people actually do this.
Yeah.
Getting very close to having it set up to lift now. Going around checking, make sure everything's just right before we actually start trying to lift the body, which would be difficult.
Well, I mean, is the body really that heavy back here, though?
Held on by anything anywhere you see?
Not that I can tell so far.
Is it tipping or anything?
What about these?
Just about got it set here for the attempt at the lift. But as I said, it was going to be difficult because we found out as we worked on this that we had some fasteners we missed, and we had a hidden fastener we had no idea was there. Underneath the rear of the body in a 26 Kissel Brougham, that turns out to be a screw that's clearly factory that we totally didn't know was there. That actually fastens the cover for the gas tank to the body itself. Now, previously we thought that that was fastened only to the frame, but in one spot there is a screw fastening that to the body. Sebastian's underneath there trying to get rid of the screw and looking for other things that might actually be fastened. This is going to prove to be somewhat of a difficult item that we're going to work on for a number of minutes. We probably spent a real half hour at this trying to get it to work just right so we can actually take the body off.
Out?
Yep.
Going up right now?
Still only on the passenger side.
Again?
Right now we think we probably got it about right. We're going to try again to lift the body. And we're going to find out actually that we're lifting the passenger side only, because we still haven't found all the fasteners. Now again, we really did think we removed them all, but the truth is we had missed I believe it was 3 fasteners in the car plus the screw. I'm counting the screws separate because the other fasteners are all carriage bolts, much more serious. But that screw is nonetheless a problem. So a little more ferreting around, we'll find what we need to remove.
really shouldn't even be here. Yeah, attached to something. Is it tippy tune or is it okay?
No, it looks like it's okay.
No, I think it's good. Running into this as we look today.
I have to pull that shift column off before you get it. Come up here too.
Okay.
You're gonna have to kind of watch that and push it back. You'll probably get a stick or something, John, put your arm under there.
Well, I wouldn't do it that way if I was reading my mind. Is that tune?
Yeah.
Okay, we're probably running into the other part. You have to move it forward again?
I think we actually need to go back.
Oh, go backwards?
Yeah.
Okay, move the block of wood. Tell me when.
Maybe.
Okay, well, come forward. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, you're gonna have to probably hold that handle all the way down.
Yes.
You clear?
Now we're going to go forward a little more.
Okay. Now we're gonna clear. We're all the way up, though.
We didn't make it. I was afraid of that. We're so close. That's ridiculous.
What?
Doesn't sing with fire.
That is as dull as it goes.
There you see the body is actually, of course, removed. We've learned that the body color is actually Brewster green. We talked to the Wisconsin Auto Museum, and that was a Kissel color for the year 1926. The color that appears orange to us may in fact be the color vermilion. Looking online, everything from French vermilion, which is decidedly orange, to a shade of red is what's covered by vermilion. And that was also a color they used that year. The car itself is not painted in the normal colors for a Kissel of this body style in 1926. However, for $50 extra, a considerable sum in 1926, this car could be painted in this color. And we can tell you from all the background stuff on the parts, it was this color.
There's going to be a lot of editing in this one.
I just go set it outside all the way.
Trash,
Yeah.
you might as well go to work.